Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. In today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I saw Hannah from Smokey Glow do a video not that long ago. She mentioned that Emily Noel started it, so I'm going to link both of their videos down below. And basically in this challenge they had to spend $1,000 in Sephora. Now in the UK we don't have Sephora, so instead of spending $1,000 at Sephora, I'm gonna spend £1,000 in UK online retailers, including Beauty Bay and Cold Beauty, and I'm gonna basically go through £1,000 worth of products that I would love to have, but I just cannot afford at the moment. And these are some of the things that I've wanted for the longest time, so I'm very excited to share my list with you guys. Of course, as always, I would love to have a conversation with you guys about these products and what would be on your wish list if you had £1,000 to spend on makeup with basically no regard to any other aspect of life. So leave your list down below for me, or if you have tried any of these products on my list, then let me know in the comments down below what do you think about them and how did you find them. So the first two products are gonna be basically the two most expensive products on my list, and they are going to take up 1/4 of the money that we have available to spend today. And they are gonna be two Pat McGrath palettes. If you've seen my previous videos, I talked a lot about wanting to try some of her palettes out. They are £120 each in the UK, so it's quite expensive. I'm always looking for offers online, seeing if I can get hold of them for a bit cheaper, but unfortunately in the UK you don't really get good deals on makeup, especially on high-end makeup. So I haven't really seen anything, especially for the two palettes I want, which are Mothership 1 and Mothership 5. Number 1 is called Subliminal and number 5 is called Bronze Seduction. In my opinion, they are absolutely gorgeous. I actually don't care about any other eyeshadow palette from her. Just the color story of these two, they are really beautiful in my opinion. And if you guys have seen my Natasha Denona palettes, you probably notice a theme here that I pretty much love to have a more warm toned orangey reddish palette and then a more cool toned palette with some blue shades from the same brand, and there's no difference here. I just think that these two palettes really complement each other, and one day I will have them, but just not now because they're so expensive. And I know in the USA you have the option to pay installments when you're buying from Pat McGrath. Unfortunately in the UK there's a really limited access to her eyeshadow palettes. I saw one of these palettes on Net-a-Porter, the other one on Selfridges. Of course, all of her eyeshadow palettes are available on her own website, but none of these retailers offer installments, and £120 is just a lot of money. I would probably buy one of them if I could pay in 3 installments, but right now I'm just going to wait with these two. One day I will get them, just not now. Another thing I would really love to have is an eyeliner pen from Tom Ford. I saw Tati raving about his eyeliner pen years ago, and I always wanted to have one, but it's £46 and that's a lot of money. I feel like it's just different to spend that kind of money on an eyeshadow palette or spend it on an eyeliner pen. At the end of the day, it's an eyeliner pen, and I have very good eyeliner pen for £5 from Makeup Revolution, so £46 seems to be crazy to me. If I had £1,000 to spend it solely on makeup though, I would probably pick this up. So the next products are all going to be from Charlotte Tilbury. I never tried anything from her before, but I would really love to try out some of her products, especially her face products. I'm not that interested in her eyeshadows or mascaras. or lipsticks for that matter, even though they look gorgeous. I love my NARS Audacious lipsticks and I have a lot of lipsticks already, so I wouldn't include anything like that in my wish list. However, I would love to try out her Hollywood Flawless Filter Primer, her Airbrush Flawless Foundation, her Airbrush Flawless Finish Pressed Powder. As I mentioned many times before, I am more and more gravitating towards more natural looking makeup, and I am getting more and more annoyed with my loose powder just flying everywhere and me inhaling it, and the loose powder going in my contact lenses, and then I can't see anything for the rest of the day. So I want to have a good pressed powder in my collection. I just feel like it's more travel friendly, and if it does just as good of a job, I think it can look more natural. You're gonna use less product, and I think her pressed powder is quite famous. So if I had £1,000, I would love to try that out as well. Of course, I would also want to try out the Film Star Bronze and Gold duo from her, where you have the bronzer and the very gorgeous subtle highlighter next to each other. I don't need a new bronzer or a new highlighter. I have my favorite. It's just something that's been so hyped up that I just want to try it out. I just want to see if it's worth the hype or not. So if I had £1,000, I would definitely pick that up as well. Okay, next on my wish list is basically the entire collection of Olaplex products that are available to purchase for us not harassers. So it's basically number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Number 3 is the hair perfector that you use before shampooing your hair, and it's gonna basically protect the hair from the shampoo removing all the moisture from the hair. Then you have number 4 and 5, which are the shampoo and the conditioner. Number 6 is called Bond Smoother, and it's basically a hair cream that you can apply on the hair whenever it feels frizzy or it just needs a bit of something to look a bit better. I could definitely use something like that because basically from here down my hair is super dry all the time, so I would love to have that. And then you have number 7, which is the bonding oil. Obviously that's for your split ends, for your dried out end of your hair. Again, it's something that I would really love to try out. I have amazing hair care products already, but Olaplex has just been so famous and so hyped that I would love to try out their products. And whilst we're talking about hyped up products, I would also love to try out 2 things from Sunday Riley. As you guys know, Drunk Elephant and Sunday Riley are both very hyped up brands. Also very expensive, so I never personally tried anything from them before. I received some samples of the retinol product from Drunk Elephant. I did try that one out, but it's only one portion, so you're not gonna see any difference. Something like that needs to be regularly used, and then after a couple of months you can tell the difference in your skin. But yeah, like I said, I never tried anything from them because they are super expensive. I would love to try out their Good Genes glycolic acid treatment, which is £85. I'd never spent that much on any skincare product before. As you guys know, I love my Ordinary and Good Molecules skincare products, and I top those up with some Clinique products from the 3 Steps regime. So I love my skincare products, and they are a lot more affordable than Sunday Riley and Drunk Elephant are. However, if I did have the money, I would love to try out some of these products. A part of the Good Genes, I would also love to try out the CEO Glow, which is basically vitamin C oil from Sunday Riley. It's very small size, 15 milliliter for £34. So again, quite expensive. The next thing I would love to buy are two eye pencils from NARS. It's from the Larger Than Life line. I already have one eye pencil from them. It's called Barrow Street and is the mint green eye pencil from this collection. And the reason I would love to have two more is because I love that eye pencil. It's super good quality. First of all, it glides on, super pigmented and super opaque, so you don't need to keep going back and forth to try to make the product stick to your waterline. And number two, it stays for a really long time. Of course, I never really expected my £1.50 Essence eyeliner pencils to give me the same lasting power and the same pigmentation, but it's nice to know that if you do splurge a little bit on eye pencil, you can get better than that. Okay, next are two completely random but quite expensive products. These are basically just some things that I would love to have in my collection because I'm trying to build collection of quite natural looking makeup products. So one of them is a blush stick from the company called Nude Sticks. NARS also has a stick called the Multiple, which, as the name suggests, you can use as a blush, lipstick, eyeshadow, whatever you want. And they do have one shade that I really like from NARS. It's called Portofino, but it wasn't available at the moment on any of the websites that I checked, and Nude Sticks has their own blush stick that costs exactly the same amount, which is £30. So I just decided to go with that one. But quite honestly, I would love to see both of them in person first, and then I could tell which one is going to be more comfortable for me. I think the number one thing I want from a blush stick is to not to be sticky, because that's the one thing that I'm really worried about creamy products, that what if they're gonna be sticky and then you need to powder it down, and then if you need to powder it down anyway, then you might as well just use a powder product. So I would love to try them out. I included Nude Sticks in my list, but like I said, it could have been NARS. They're the same price basically, and I am really not sure which one is better. So if you tried any of them already, just let me know in the comments down below, what did you think? And the other completely random product is basically a foundation slash concealer palette from RCMA. It's called the VK18 palette, and it's basically different shades to really sculpt your face. I would love to have this palette for transformation makeup looks. If you guys been on my channel for a while, you know that in the past I used to do a lot of transformation videos, and I really enjoy that because it's so challenging. But I just realized that it's really expensive, because obviously you need to buy the wig, the contact lenses, the costume, and sometimes other specific products as well to do a good transformation video. And I'm the type of person that I want to do everything either 100% or not at all. So I am still waiting to see if I will have more funds to do this kind of videos. In the meantime, I'm trying to get better at makeup, and I definitely would need this palette if I ever get back to doing transformation videos, because with this palette you can properly change the shape of your face, highlight features, create shadows. So I would love to have this palette in my collection, but it is £60, so it's kind of an investment. Okay, now some eyeshadow palettes. First of all, I would love to have some Nabla eyeshadow palettes. They are an Italian brand. My husband is Italian, so I kind of feel obligated to support Italian brands, and I only ever heard good things about them. There are two eyeshadow palettes that I really gravitate towards because they just absolutely gorgeous. One of them is the Soul Blooming palette, which was, I believe, their first eyeshadow palette gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And the other one is called Secret Palette. Again, completely my cup of tea. Gorgeous colors. I love everything about it. So I would love to have these two in my collection. I will probably purchase them at some point, but every time I would have enough money to pick them up, there's something else that I would love to have. So I will have them at some point, just not yet. But if I had £1,000 to buy makeup, I would definitely include them. I would also love to try out their foundation and their concealer. When I first saw them, I thought, the foundation looks like the Chanel Vita Lumiere foundation, and the concealer looks like the Tarte Shape Tape. What's going on here? So I haven't actually heard anyone reviewing these two before, but I would love to pick them up just because I have tried the Vita Lumiere foundation and the Tarte Shape Tape before, and I'm just really curious to see if the performance is similar as well, or is it only the packaging. Unfortunately, Tarte doesn't have an official retailer here in the UK, so the Shape Tape is actually quite difficult to get hold of here. So if this concealer was anything similar, then I would love to know about that. And last but not least, I would love to have some more eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's Place. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I have a quite good collection of their older palettes. I have the Nubian 2. This was actually my first eyeshadow palette from them, and this was the reason I fell in love with the brand. Then I have the Zulu and Festival. By the way, Festival has the most gorgeous blue shade ever. Then I have the Saharan eyeshadow palette, which is actually one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes ever. And then I have the Saharan blush palette. And I have the Magic Mini palette, which I've done a video about recently when I compared this one to the Riviera palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And honestly, this is one of the most versatile eyeshadow palettes I have. Absolutely gorgeous colors, and I can get use out of all of them. I also used to have the Deuced palette, but I actually gave that to my sister. I just found the colors very girly. I didn't get that much use out of it. I do love a little bit more mature colors. Like I said, this one is one of my all-time favorites, and you can definitely see what I'm talking about when I say more mature colors. So like I said, I used to have the Deuce palette and I got rid of that one. I do love all of them though, and there was nothing wrong with that palette, just the colors are not really my thing. But there are some other eyeshadow palettes newer than these. Some of them are actually older than these. We just didn't have them in stock when I was picking up Juvia's Place palettes, but there are some palettes that I would still love to pick up from this brand. Now, one thing to mention is that Beauty Bay is the only retailer in the UK for the Juvia's Place products, and they are quite behind. For example, even today, you cannot buy the Juvia's Place foundations and concealers in the UK for whatever reason. The only products you can get from Juvia's Place are the eyeshadow palettes, the highlighters and the liquid lipsticks. And even with the eyeshadow palettes, you don't have the newest ones. So the ones that I mentioned in this video might be quite old for you, but they would be still quite new for me. And some of them only recently came to Beauty Bay. So one of the older palettes that I don't have yet, but I would love to, again because of the gorgeous blues in the palette, is the Saharan 2 eyeshadow palette. I would also love to pick up the Nomad palette. Again, they're just so mature and quite autumny. You don't really get a lot of autumny eyeshadow palettes, so I think that palette is absolutely gorgeous for the fall. Then I would also love to pick up the Warrior eyeshadow palette. Not number 2. Number 2 has a lot of shimmers in it, but number 1. And the Nubian 3 eyeshadow palette, which is basically a mixture of coral and grey shades. such an interesting color story. I've never seen anyone putting those shades together, but somehow it works. So those are all the products I would love to pick up. Now, if you noticed, I went over the £1,000 limit. I think, oh well, if someone's gonna give me £1,000 to buy makeup, I will definitely find it £5.50 somewhere. Also, I used full prices of these products, and there are always some discounts somewhere. So by the time I receive the £1,000, I'm sure there's gonna be some discount available somewhere, and I can squeeze everything into the £1,000 limit. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here. And until next time, take care of yourself. I will see you very soon. Bye.